At the very onset of your career as a makeup artist, excitement is at its peak and you're more likely to spend impulsively on products that you will find little use for. Keep your ear to the ground. Keep your eyes open for what is trending. But also remember that trends are fickle. Recognize from your own customer needs what market you're active in, and then do the math and purchase. Remember also that good work, especially celebrity, experimental or editorial, comes with recommendations and references. So stick to the very basics in the beginning and do your basics really well. As you progress and recommendations flow in, add extra product to your kit as you get paid from the jobs that you've already completed. Also remember that most of your customers in the beginning are likely to be just normal people looking to appear beautiful, like brides, partygoers, family, friends. So ensure that your products deliver the best basic makeup. Be wise, enjoy your process and get started. Today, skincare is of utmost importance in a makeup artist's kit, as it is literally what bridges the skin to the makeup that you apply on it. You should not be taken by surprise if a seemingly flawless model or a customer actually has very sensitive skin, or someone with oily and acneic skin transforms flawlessly with the right product. Be prepared for anything. Buy a few, but buy smart. You will need a sunscreen with an SPF of at least 30, ideally a clear gel formulation that does not change the color of the base. A primer, ideally one that is clear so that it can be used on a variety of skin types. A water-based moisturizer, ideal for good hydration for all skin types. A good eye makeup remover. A good makeup cleanser. Try and buy something that can be wiped off. Remember that a location or venue might not always have water. Makeup removal wet wipes. Buy them in smaller pack options as they do tend to dry out if they are left open for long periods. Vaseline or petroleum jelly, or a salve for lips and other very dry spots on hands, knees, elbows, feet, etc. A really good lip balm is also a good alternative. Stick to a clear one. A fixing or finishing spray to help the makeup look set and natural. A healthy mix of reputed skincare, both from drugstore and niche brand options, will be ideal for your skincare kit. Having said that, understand what kind of budget you have and resist overspending on less needed product. Also, if there are options of buying smaller quantities, do so because skincare does not have a long shelf life. A strong word of caution here. Please never fail to ask your customer first if she has her own skincare that she prefers to use, or one recommended by their own dermatologist, as most people follow a skincare routine that they are already comfortable with. Right here is a big tip that will help you keep your kit compact and yet super functional. Remember that concealers are heavier formulations than foundations, and with a little practice and the right brushes, they can be used as foundations too, only with a softer finish and a lighter hand. So in the beginning, don't load your kit with all the colors and heavy glass bottles of foundations, or you'll be carrying a whole shop around with you. Assess the market that you work in. Buy colors and shades that you can mix to create a specific shade. Customize. Buy palettes, as they are ideal for mixing to create specifics. You will need a palette of cream concealers, ideally ones that are water resistant or waterproof. A palette of basic color correctors, ideal for your market. As a makeup artist, if you found yourself with just the above and nothing else for a foundation, it will have to do. A few liquid foundations, ideally matte finishes. Buy 6 or 8 shades that you can mix around. Also, transfer small amounts into travel-sized plastic bottles so you don't risk losing all if a bottle crashes to the ground. Loose powders in soft yellow, peach, and invisible or white. Again, transfer these into travel-sized plastic powder jars. Matte bronzing or shading compact powders, or even better, a contouring palette that is ideal for your customer base. Highlighting compact powders, or even better, a highlighting palette that is ideal for your customer base. I recommend brands that serve customers of all skin colors and undertones, and ones which have exemplary counter services for the benefit of both you as an artist and your customer, who will look up to you for guidance. I have to admit quite honestly, even on my own part, that this is a portfolio that's truly hard to resist overspending on. What with all the glorious textures, sheens, shimmers, pigments and delectable colors. But rein in. As an artist, you should be able to create even textures from a minimal selection. I often tend to pick up matte finishes and play around to create other textures by mixing during application. But that would come from practice, and it's really just a few dedicated tries away. Here's what you will need in your kit for eye makeup, elaborate or simple. An eye primer to create an even base for the eyelids. You could use a concealer and powder for the same too, but ensure that the eyelid is very evenly covered. Gel liner pots or liquid liners in brown and black. I personally prefer the gel liner pots as they can be used in various ways and do not dry up on the skin as quickly as other liners do. Their textures also allow for a little more playtime, helping you to create varied shapes and effects thoroughly, and they are most often than not waterproof. Also, brushes used with gel liner pots can be cleaned before reusing. But of course, you would know with time which of these products you personally prefer using, so go with your own instinct and need. Any liquid products in eye makeup, particularly ones that you would use close to the waterline or lashes, needs to be replaced from time to time. So these products could be purchased from a cheaper brand. A trick to keep gel pots going longer is to turn them upside down while working on a customer to keep it from air drying sooner. A couple of mascaras in waterproof and non-waterproof formulations. Most people prefer separated lashes, so choose a couple of wand types as well. Remember that mascaras, especially when used on a number of people, should be discarded pretty soon. This is the one place you could skimp on a product and buy the not so expensive ones, as you will have to replace them very often. To keep mascaras from drying quickly, avoid pumping air into them when opening the tube. Instead, twist the wand up from the tube to open. Kohl or eyeliner pencils can be bought from the more inexpensive brand offerings. You may have to buy a slightly larger selection in this category. Remember that some eyeliners can be worn on the waterline while others cannot. Be sure to ask at the beauty counter for advice, as your reputation depends on it. You would not want a customer complaining that you gave her an eye infection. And God help you if she has watery eyes as soon as you put something on her and that makes her eyes smart. Be very careful to distinguish between eye pencils and kajal or kohl pencils. You would need a selection of black, brown, grey, nude or white, blue, deep green, deep plum at least to begin with. Always sharpen your pencil and soften the tip before using it on a customer's eyes. This will ensure that a previous use has been shaved off the tip of the pencil. Eyeshadows are now available in personalized palettes across brand alternatives. I would recommend a palette of neutrals both in matte and shimmer textures. A neutral palette should include white, cream, beige, basically highlighting colors, soft brown, tan, rust, deep brown, grey brown, taupes, greys, blacks, basically contouring colors. Next, a palette with good selection of colors that are useful for your customer base. A palette of golds, bronzes, ambers, coppers, pewters, silvers, etc. Once you have a few basic palettes, you can create anything from a natural look to an elaborate wedding look or looks for a fashion editorial or show. Eyeshadows can also be used to fill in eyebrows, but you will find specific brow creams and powders for the eyebrows as well. They also come in palettes, so choose one that works in the market that you operate in. Also, buy a couple of brow pencils in deep and softer browns just in case you find the need to draw in or fill an eyebrow shape. False lashes are as important in eye makeup as eyeshadows. I find that some of the most unexpected customers like to give it a go. So never take it for granted that you might not need a few in your kit. Keep a selection of lashes ready to go, from natural to slightly fuller ones. I would recommend that your kit always has a couple of pairs of natural lashes, a couple of pairs of slightly fuller sets, corner lashes, and even individual lashes. You will find really good ones even if they are not from a big brand name. Make sure that you find a set that has a good band, one that easily sits on the curve of the eye. Very stiff bands tend to lift off the corners and need constant care. You will need an eyelash glue. I recommend that you buy one from a reputed brand so you know that it's indeed safe for use close to the eyes. As an option, buy a couple or more varieties of glitter for the eyes, but do know that they can come in little later in your purchases. They're really pesky to handle. So if you do buy them, move small amounts into smaller jars so you don't end up losing a whole lot if they fall during use. Let me warn you here, they're a nuisance to clean up and tend to spill on everything, including brushes and skin. Keep them in containers that are tightly lidded and even wrapped up for extra measure so they don't muck up the rest of your kit if they do open up. I recommend a few in silver, pearl, and soft and bright gold options to begin with. This is another category of makeup where it's difficult to stop buying more than you need. Assess your immediate customer base and work from there. Once you get more jobs, you could increase your collection of lipwear. Lipsticks are expensive and a big collection can bulk up your kit, so set out with just a few good flesh tones and nudes, reds, peaches, pinks, and choose options of creams and mattes so you can play around and create your own mixes if need be from this selection. Buy lip pencils also in shades that you can mix to create other shades. Keep them close in color to your lipstick selection. I recommend wooden pencils that you can sharpen, as I find that they don't dry or snap like the ones in roll-up formats. Be clever with your choice of lip glosses too. You don't need to match every single lipstick you have with the gloss. Buy a few that add very complementing highlights and a good selection of nudes and softer pinks and peaches. Very few people in my experience gloss their reds or bright oranges. So this is one area where you can put your mix and match skills to clever use. Although most customers now have their nails previously manicured or have gel and acrylic nails done, it is still important to carry a few good nail polishes. Feel free to choose a sensible selection of colors. You can build your nail kit gradually and add on the crazy fun colors as the job requires. You may not always need to carry nail colors on a job, but still, it's important to have at least a selection of basic colors often in your kit. Also include a nail polish remover. It all begins with a good kit. Pick a sturdy suitcase that can be cleaned easily. Remember spillage, travel tags, airport handling, difficult locations, etc. Your kit has to have good wheels and generally be lightweight. I find that a suitcase that can be used on both sides is better, but feel free if you pick one that you like and don't always have to lift. Buy one with 4 wheels so it can move in different directions without you having to lift it. Makeup artists are prone to physical stress and injury, so the more you do to keep them at bay, the better off you are. You will need a good sized touch-up bag in which to move certain makeup items that you require for touch-ups on a set into after the makeup is done. This kit is normally slung across your torso like a messenger bag. Find one that has a thick, sturdy strap that is adjustable and doesn't strain your shoulder with the weight, that has multiple compartments to segregate the products, is easy to keep clean, and one that is see-through so you don't have to spend time fishing for a product out on a set. A messy kit is unsightly and an immediate put-off for a customer. So keep your products segregated by their use and in handy pouches that you can keep clean. Makeup stains cannot be prevented, but pouches can definitely be cleaned from time to time so they do not look messy. Buy a selection from deep ones for foundations, skincare and palettes, to long ones for pencils, and purse-like ones for glosses and lipsticks. Keep all your makeup separated by category so it is easy to find and replace. You'll find that organizing them in this manner also helps you to keep inventory and make replenishing easy. You will need a good sized mirror in which the whole face is visible. You can opt for one with or without a handle. You will need a brush cleanser, Q-tips or earbuds of good quality, a hand sanitizer, eye whitening drops, an eyelash curler, tweezers, a nail file, a packet of tissues, a mixing palette and a small spatula, a small bottle of mouthwash or fresh breath mints. I would always advise that you save to buy good products for your kit, and preferably ones that you've tried so that you understand how it delivers in makeup. Save to spend sensibly and do not skimp on quality. Buy over a period of time, but know that your investments will pay off. Take care to maintain the highest standards of hygiene possible. It really is a reflection of you as an artist. Replenish your basic kit from time to time to ensure that you don't run out of often used products. Some brands have products that become a rage and then just go off the shelves really soon. If you find that a certain lipstick color or another popular product is used a lot, buy a couple of extras so that you know that you have backup, or find alternatives that serve the purpose just as well. On a not so serious note, enjoy your artistry, play around with product and new launches, so that you are aware of them and can also recommend them to your customer. Stay packed and ready always, because the ride is always a surprise and it's quite spectacular.